Welcome once again to Breakfast Central. We begin the conversation this morning in Uganda, where its parliament has approved the government's plan to raise spending by 10% to 52.73 trillion shillings, that's about $14 billion, in the 2023-2024 fiscal year. Now, this is according to the Finance Minister, Matia Kasaija, who is set to present the 2023-2024 budget to Parliament early next month. Finance Ministry did not say how the funds will be allocated, but in recent years, the energy, transport and works, and of course the health ministries have taken the lion's share of the resources.
According to Ugandan laws, the lawmakers are required to approve the government spending plans for a specific fiscal year before they are officially laid out in a budget speech. The fiscal year runs from July to June, and the government set spending for the current fiscal year is at 48.1 trillion shillings. To further discuss the implications of this move, we're joined from Kampala, Uganda by Mukunda Julius, Executive Director, Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning and a pleasure to be with you.
All right, now let's get into it. Borrowing has significantly increased over the years in Uganda, and opposition lawmakers have accused the government of heavily relying on borrowing to pay for spending. Why then would you say the lawmakers have approved the increase in this instance?
Yeah, thanks so much. Basically, I think we have three things that are happening. Number one is that there is so much pressure to spend because a number of issues are happening. If you know very well, we have a war in Congo. Climate change is affecting Uganda. We have a whole part of northern Uganda affected by climate change. That's on part of pressure on spend. The element is we have a very strong feeling that our policymakers have not appreciated the challenges we face as a nation, so that we can be able to be more frugal and spend within our means. And lastly, of course, is the issue of debt. Right now, we are above the 50% threshold. But also is that when you look at how much money we collect domestically and how much we should be servicing the debt, especially interest payment, we are at around 24% and our benchmark was 12%. So those three elements have put pressure on the government to increase the expenditure part of government. And you rightly said by 10%. So those three elements really are making the situation a bit more complicated and a bit more difficult. Thank you.
All right, we're also going to look at conversations on the State House budget and the controversy surrounding it. But I want to get you to speak first of all on Uganda as a nation. What would you say that Uganda should be spending more money on if it's going to get to a place where it, depends less on foreign loans and borrowing? Because from what we, of course, shared earlier, there are certain sectors that will get the lion's share, the transportation and health sector and the like. So, would you ask that the Ugandan government redirects its spending to maybe, become a more productive country in the next few years?
Yes, I think the issue of the presidency has come up a lot, but I think this is an African thing when it comes to spending on our policymakers. But you made a point on could we do better? I think we have a lot we can do to change the course, even stop depending on aid, because I think just look at the numbers themselves. If you spend, because out of the 52 trillion we have, 25 is for servicing debt. So when you have 25 and you have around half of the remaining part is on recurrent expenses, then you have less in terms of projects that can bring returns to the economy. If I was in this government, there are things I wouldn't do. For example, is that we are trying to build an SGR railway, SGR, these express trains. It is so costly. We don't need it at this particular moment because it's too expensive. All we need in this country is, can the people of Uganda produce enough so that they can have surplus and sell abroad? That is what we need to concentrate on, because that is where we have leverage. And I have told my colleagues in the government, I've told them, yes, as a country, we want to build buses, start an automotive industry, but we shall never beat Japanese in motor vehicle technology. We will never. But we can beat Japanese in the production of beans, in the production of maize, in the production of foodstuffs. Because Uganda, we have 3 seasons in a year. But it is shocking that you can have a region where people are dying of famine. So yes, I could even reduce on the number of government ministries. Some of my ministers, I don't know them. I confess, I don't know them. I meet them, I don't know them. So you reduce and restructure government and spend less on it. You can't spend half of your budget on running government. That is absolutely not acceptable. So you need to restructure government. You need to be very frugal. Anybody who takes a Ugandan shilling must go to jail and must never come back. And even if they come back, they should never in their entire life be in public service. But now these are things we take normal, and money is lost. There is nobody who's being held accountable. Very few, the small fish, we call them the small fish. But the big fish who take billions, they don't. So yes, there is more we can do as a country and reduce our foreign dependence. Thank you.
All right, now let's talk about the controversy surrounding a certain amount, 454 billion Ugandan shillings earmarked as potential expenditure by the president. Now, we've seen that opposition MPs on the Parliament's Budget Committee have kicked against this. We see, I'm going to read a quote. He said, "Our president is not a star from Hollywood requiring to change wardrobe every day. He's the president of a poor country. Why buy him clothes worth 350 million every year? What happened to the clothes that we bought last year?" Now, talk to us about this. Is this something that is the norm? What are the people, what are the members of Parliament saying? Is this going to be approved, or is it just mere speculation?
Yeah, I think, members of Parliament also, they were trying to put a good context, but we wanted to go further to look at those numbers, and then we found out that he's not majorly the president clothes, but also purchase of uniforms for State House staff, but also purchase of uniforms and corporate wear for a number of small projects that they are running, some skills project. But the point is that, why would you want to have a project of a particular ministry and you bring it in the Ministry of Finance? You see, you are now duplicating the mandate of Ministry of Education, that is skills training, but at the same time you are weakening the Education Ministry as the overseer and controller of skills education in the country, because you have these small projects at the State House, in the State House, and that is not supposed to be. So he rightly says that the State House is where the president resides. So when you have all that money there, then that means that is the president using it. And if you would remove those small projects and take them to their parent ministries, not only are you strengthening them, but you are also increasing their budgets. But you are also making the president, the State House, more independent. Yes, there are certain things there that we think they should get out. We are going to spend around 43 billion on medals. We think that, yes, we have heroes in this country. They deserve recognition. And really, you could package the medal, put it in an envelope and send it to them, or they can come to State House and have an audience with the president and he blesses them. That does not cost 43 billions. Merrymaking in our countries, especially in African countries, really, we spend a lot of money. A state burial, let me tell you, a state burial can consume almost, $500,000. If I can put it in dollars, that's too much money. Yes.
Yeah. Julius Mukunda, obviously Uganda and Nigeria have pretty much the same problem with spending. They may not have a revenue problem, but they have a spending problem. But you know, these are conversations that need to be had, and we will continue to have them every day here on this program. Thank you very much for your time this morning. We look forward to speaking with you again, hopefully on more positive issues in the future. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.